welcome to the Ezra Needs to Catch a Break experience. I'm your willingful, unwilling host, Ezra. So, welcome back to Phoenix Days Attorney. If you didn't see the last part, it was uploaded about an hour ago. Go watch that one first. Or if you haven't seen any of the parts, there's a playlist, hopefully linked in the description. Or maybe there's a little card popping up at the corner of your screen with that linked, and then you can see this journey from the beginning. Although, a quick warning if you have to go do that, both volume and quality of my voice is very inconsistent throughout. Sometimes I'm extremely loud, sometimes I'm barely audible. So I'm sorry if that's a problem. Anyway, let's get into it. Time for the investigation. Oh god. Let's do this. February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. Voices are going to be inconsistent because I'm both tired. I just finished eating and I'm quite full at the moment, so I'm a little rocky. I'm so sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. It's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dirt killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Anna wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? All there in that file. Joe Darkey's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Ema? The night of prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Darkey tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? She would have been 17? No, sorry. 14? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in Joe Dark's trial. Sorry. I didn't see that one coming. Oh, time to talk. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together when she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Officer Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Darky stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was given false evidence. He was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could just testify properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Ema. What did you see in the instant that the crime occurred? Darky knocked Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Knocked down Mr. Marshall. Ugh. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Ema, you've been through so much. Has she though? I'm sorry. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. We acting like 16 is much better. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies. And find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. You know. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Something puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me, Ema. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Your sister's a prosecutor. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? God, there are a lot of ex-detectives here. I'd better have another talk with her. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Move, 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 move! wrong place. Sorry. Oh, hi. Howdy, Bambino. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Sarah, you never know when life will lead you, eh, Bambino? I should have known my luck had run out when little old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But, Mr. Marshall, why'd you do it? Why do prosecutors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? I was not supposed to come here. I was supposed to go to the detention center. Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Sorry. We'll be right back. I promise. Detention center, Jesus. February 21st, detention center, visitors room. You. Lana. Mr. Wright, it seems I kept causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? Because you have a duty to uphold? God, I could rant for hours about this. Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. So a lot of people's positions changed 2 years ago. Sweet, sweet lemonade. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. God, I say right so many times while playing this. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Grant cracked together. Chief Grant? Okay. He was the he was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked at the crime scenes. Damon Grant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filled. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. There was a reason I became a detective. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use the experience in court, right? Grant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Darky investigation. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Darky. Second in command? That means that the investigation lead was Damon Grant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Grant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his big brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Darky was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place, when he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Darky. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Grant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Darky that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Darky must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Grant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Grant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filling some papers while Grant and Marshall were crushing Drake. Drake? What? When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Darky. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Darky had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma and carried her out of the room and just held her. Can't blame her after all. Her sister must have gone through. I have random pauses, I'm realizing. After that, I placed Darky under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident, just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Darky. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. My tablet's gonna die. Oh no. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Darky at the police statement, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Grant and I shared. But the office that Mr. Grant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder. Back. Dun, 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 dun. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. We're not supposed to be here. It seems kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems to be saying, though. Why don't we look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Great, lovely, because I didn't need to come here. Alright, it's time to talk to you. Marshall, start your trial. Something was fishy with the trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Darkey's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. Does that mean... It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. Certainly mental for you. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at? What are you looking at me like that for? It's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, wasn't that the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall, there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the kids wouldn't die. Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Stodd was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, the commissioners would get suspicious. If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were just careful enough not to be too obvious. Eh? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Grant. And Lana Skye. Grant and Skye. The investigation lead, Damon Grant, and his second in command, Lana Skye. This is such a cool picture. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Grant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it. Yeah, I said that right. You must have said something like that too. Tell me what happened to my sister. Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. Really now? So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to give the guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him the evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Grant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I want to be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. See you later. Probably not, actually. We do actually have to go here. This place is bad, but maybe it's bad. Oh, you're looking for the others. They're all in the oh, wait, that's the actual... Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying she did what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial, there's much chaos going on. Then Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Grant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Let's go. Why? What? 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 Okay. February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office. I have to record all 3 parts for the other one tomorrow after school. Whoa, where am I? In the Chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Badge. I thought I was a genius until they tried. I have no idea what she said. I never could remember where C was. Sir? Oh, it's you two. Chief Grant. He put the paper he was reading in his desk. So, righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's proactive statement. Proactive statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Damn, he looks confident. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. This vase. Don't we have this vase? We do have this vase. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. It's the vase. Oh my god, the armor still. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh. But this office... It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Hey Phoenix, how good are you at picking locks? Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief Grant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. February 24th, police station, criminal enforcement, blah blah blah. Hey pal! Detective Gumshoe! Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under the fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the bladder's between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But he's not the one that falsified evidence. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who didn't like him. But now, with this, there are really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent raise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back into joints sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. This all-night incident. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Yeah, he's good like that. Well, did you find anything? Did you find out anything? The only evidence Darky left behind was his final attack. During his final attack, you mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl. Yeah, some girl. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emo was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Yeah, one last thing. Joe Darky was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? Don't you know most business— I can't make that joke. Don't you know most serial killers have fairly normal lives outside of their serial killing? It's why they could be found to be so charismatic to most people. Well, one day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes. But it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed the lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Then he was burying the bodies. A jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems like he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjure. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily, Darky was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness. AKA Emo. Wow, okay. About this. Hey, is that... It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of? What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Idris' car muffler. That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. This knife. It was Joe Darky's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he brought it to. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it, too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? Jesus Christ, we've been here for half an hour? It's 12:12 a.m.? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip knife was found. Knife tip was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it. Inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Darky's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Switchblade knife updated in the court record. Well, there you have it, in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Grant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where the prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief is out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around, if that's okay. Oh my god, there's so much left. Well, I need Detective ID's card to unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day that he died. Oh. So in other words, gumshoe is our only chance of getting into the office. My cat is moving around. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. I doubt it. But yep. I'm very tired. February 24th, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. No one's here today, not even Miss Star. Everyone's probably busy looking into exactly what went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case, but instead, it looks like we ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. God, I am tired. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to pause the recording, go the hell to bed, and then I will be back sounding more alive, I suppose. So, yeah. I'm back. I slept for a while. Nope, wait. Oh, we are moving, because I think we're going to Edgeworth's place. Okay. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 2... Well... 12:02, there we go, brain. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! He looks like he's writing something. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. Oh, that's adorable. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Hey. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to. And nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If the bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, and my responsibility as a prosecutor is the prosecutor in charge. The fact remains that fact remains the same, no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Don't bottle up emotions, guys. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's why my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for the case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. A picture. Something seems strange about it. We'll get to that in a second. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in the ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. Finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over here to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Grant asked you to hold that on to that, didn't he? Yes. It was a piece of evidence. The case. In a case that was closed. In a case that was closed 2 years ago. Closed a half a year ago. Jesus. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. It is 10:30 a.m. by the way. That is why I'm tired. That's the story we heard yesterday. So, you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Chief Demongran seems like the type of person who can carry a body. Oh, there's a sword missing. I didn't notice that before. There's a sword. I mean, this is what I was, because this is the plot, but there's a sword missing. I didn't notice that. What do you think about this photo? This picture was hanging on the wall in the Chief Grant's office. It's a sword. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. It looks like it was taken. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was when the official prosecutor trophies looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind this design. A story? It sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the word is. What's the award's based on? Contradiction? This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. Oh. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Ima's sake? Very well. Phoenix just lied. Long ago, in the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just got a Discord notification. I had to check what it was. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. He's shooting himself in the foot here. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of the items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if the results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Grant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Grant. King of Prosecutors Trophy, updated to the court record. We got an exit and something. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distracted. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth? Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, Letter of Resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright? Please, you have to do something. No, I don't have to do anything. Look, there are other prosecutors I have to meet, okay? It can't just be Edgeworth every time, even though I have to figure out new voices for them. But, yeah, no, him, you know, resigning makes a lot of sense. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Good luck with that, buddy. February 24th, Prosecutor's Office, Underground Parking Lot. Excuse me. I don't remember what her voice was. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Starr! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd be digging up that case from 2 years ago. Well, you were involved in it. Care to talk to us a bit? Everyone in the trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred the day the evidence in the case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. So, the investigation. Joe Ducky. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother? Nope, wrong voice. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on the SL9 case. Of course they were led by that legendary duo. Damon Grant. Lana and Chief Grant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up with our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Darkey got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our chain number found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof that anything illegal was done. She admitted to forging evidence. That in itself is a crime. I'm proof enough of what happened. Huh? After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then, Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damon Grant and Lana Skye. I love that they keep coming back to this picture. I love this picture. Grant led the investigation, while Lana second in command. With Lana second in command, I don't know why that was wow. They were the best. So they solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Grant's magnetism, in particular, was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in cases he had handled. Incredible evidence? You mean? Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh, yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything cooked, and always watched out for crooked, and always watched out for anything. Always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she lost her own brother. Even if it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why'd she have to turn so cold after that? That is the leading question, isn't it? Being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Grant's powerful influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way. Prosecutors? The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. And last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, mister. You listen to me, Rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create a fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I'd been. Oh. Oh, where am I going? Criminals to Fair Department. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you're back. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of this file. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your what the hell? Persistency? But my answer's still no. I'm not letting you into the chief office. Period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I had to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Oh yes, I have something. Change your mind, change your mind, change your mind, change your mind, change your mind. What's this covered up piece of paper? No way. Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. All the qualities I look for in a man. You could tell. You could tell. It's really funny because when this is going up, my birthday's in 8 days. Because this goes up on the 2nd of April. My birthday's on the 10th of April. I'm recording this in March. It's the 7th. Anyway. When I first met him, I thought he was cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card. We can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So, at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Bro, we better not lose Gumshoe. He is a regular haha funny for me during these cases. I like the guy a lot. Another quality I look for in a man. I'm not at all. First of all, I'm not interested in dating currently. Second of all, I don't look for any specific qualities in anyone. You know, as both an asexual and a pan-romantic, I truly just don't care. Here it goes, Mr. Wright. We're in. I'm in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Eek! Ah! Whew. You hit who? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe, what are you doing here? What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Hey, don't do that to my card. I hardly ever get a chance to come here. Oh. Besides, we're all in this together now. We'll never know what he said. Oh god, you really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Hold on, let me check what's what. Okay. Yeah, let's speed through this then. There's not a whole lot left, but I do know that this is probably getting closer to one of the longer ones for Phoenix Writing Attorney. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Grant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Grant. And the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. That's where you're wrong. Can I ask you something? Oh, wait, that's whatever. Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the Sylvanic crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. Don't just let it go at that. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. He could never. He's too much of a wet cat. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Grant might be a suspect, do you? Oh no, he's at the top of my suspect list. Honestly, I haven't talked about that at all during this. Oh no. What? He's right, Mr. A. What do we think of him? I think he's a suspect. Chief Grant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go. Ignoring me again. Sorry. What is this? I mean, yeah, this is a safe. What is... This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like the code is here. Looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I just know my... Is it 7 digits of 7? Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? It's... No, actually tell me. I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. 7. It's that easy. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? Nobody's. 777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 77777777? That ID number? I know I'm not saying a consistent number of sevens. That is part of the bit at this point. I think you're 1 7 shy this time. There's supposed to be 7 sevens, so... This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Grant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Is there money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's a shard of a broken cup? This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? I know. There's something else in here, too. What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey! I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think Chirrut made up the design? I don't think so. Oh. Well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup. Not a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with the case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. I can prove that the... Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to them. To get them. How are these 2 items related to the Cell 9 incident? I can prove how one of them is related. Come on, there's gotta be something we can show the detective. There is. For literally one thing. That was the backspace button. Not the E button. It's on the other side of the keyboard. Sorry, I did that. Like, whenever I try to get to the E button, I have to go around my microphone. Just because of where I put it. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the 3 of us put it back together. Those were the days. That was yesterday. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had the SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one that was in the safe? That one? Yes, that one that was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. I swear to God, if I have to play Among Us at any point during this, specifically the tape thing, which is what I have just started referring to it as, I will be so upset. Go ahead, pal. Show us what the rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. That rhymed. Oh. I don't know what that said, sorry. I'll prove Chief Grant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Ooh. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Grant was willingly and knowingly hid a piece of evidence in a piece of this jar in a safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey, guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line. That's blood. It would not be bread 2 years later. What? Guys, come on. I don't get it. Why would Chief Grant hide this in his safe? Stable jar updated the court record. It would not be red. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you wouldn't take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking your hand out like that? Go ahead. Take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints you want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't just time for jokes. We're talking about the cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor? Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the pattern on that cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told 1,000,000 times. Alright, let's get this over with. I feel like I'd be concerned if a 16-year-old's wrong. Yeah! I'm insanely curious of if you can hear how fast I am clicking. Oh, there it is. I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching friends, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a curved result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Next. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Sorry, the jukebox is going crazy right now. I think that's probably enough. I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for them. But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Next. I don't know why I'm starting this backwards. I just am. The thumb will probably give us the clearest print, but... Oh, never mind. Oh, not the one print. Not Angel Star. There's no reason not to compare? It was hers. Okay. No. How can this be? What are Eva's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Yours. Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Darky's prints. Nope, they are definitely yours. Psst. Hey, you, over here. What's going on here? What are those kids' prints doing inside the safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Eva for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Wow, okay. Wow, look at the side of Chief Grant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, it's you two. Chief Grant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Edward said the same thing. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? The SL9 incident. I wonder what this was doing here. Hold on, Detective. Hold on, Detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about the evidence list. Normally they're twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! Chief Grant must be hiding something about the case. It would appear so. So, we have slept with his mom? It would appear so. Was ripped in half. So this is the part. So this part is all I've got. Well, was I any help? Extremely so, thank you. Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the coat. Eek! Chief Grant! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. I was walking to my meeting. I happened to look out the window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir? Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID card on the way out. No! You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now get out. Yes, sir. Oh, no. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait. You. The one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair. You're free to go. I don't feel comfortable leaving a 16-year-old who would, I guess, technically be in Phoenix's care during this, alone with the main suspect in my mind. But okay. Mr. Wright. Phoenix. Look, pal. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it would be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen evidence Chief Grant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Alright. You listening to me? I'm gonna try and smooth things out with the chief. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Ema. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. This is the last part. February 24th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. See, so the chief asked Ema to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Why are you bringing up my dead boss? It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Sorry, Discord notifications. Alright. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Talk. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth, it's that you're incapable of doing so, because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. Sorry, checking time. Oh, Jesus Christ. We gotta go. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly frightened of. What is this person's name? The man who's 65. Well, Miss Sky? Don't turn completely around. Mr. Wright, you're addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? Oh, we're almost done. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a bound of inquiry for what you did. Board of inquiry. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Grant's name was never mentioned? Chief Grant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Grant. If you intend to accuse Chief Grant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Grant falsified evidence in that case. Okay. Leave. Yeah, it's the evidence list. Sorry, I'm just reading off of walkthrough. I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Grant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you summarized. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to... Oh god, what was his voice? It doesn't matter. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. trunk lock was broken, and I discovered the murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon. You mean Edward's knife? No. When I found the body, this knife was stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Jake Darkey's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edward's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes, it seems I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... she saw me, just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Oh, that's sad, dude. Why did you need to hide Darkey's knife so badly? Here's the last one. It took a lot of work to finally close the Darkey case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Darkey's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Darkey case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edward's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone in the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Grant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I want that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed to help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he must have had disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But, Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and as an investigator. Now please, don't persuade this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial, there's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago? To be continued. Okay, guys, I will see you all next time. Actually, Saturday, with 3 parts of this. 3 goddamn parts. I'm going to rest my voice for about 20 minutes before I end up recording this. But, yeah, that's what's next. Until then, this was such a long video. I went to sleep in the middle of it. I went to bed. Anyway, hope you have enjoyed. I've been your host, Ezra. I will see you all next time. Bye!